Well, welcome to part 5 of our DermCoder training video series. By now you should know about navigating and orienting yourself with the DermCoder interface, looking up CPT and fee schedule information, looking up diagnosis information including ICD-9 and ICD-10 codes, and we've just completed part 4 of the video, which is a modifier checking using the Quick Check and the Correct Coding Initiative. If you're not sure how to use these features in DermCoder, go back and review parts 1 through 4 of the training series. Now we're going to talk about the miscellaneous data items that are included in DermCoder, as well as the export feature. Again, we have the tabs on the upper right corner. We'll talk about exports in a second. We've gone through the first tab, the second tab, the third tab. Now the fourth tab is some general coding and billing rules. These are mostly data tables. If you need to look up a definition of a modifier, etc. For example, we have all of the place of service codes. So if you are in 11 place of service, which is where most of our clients are, they're performing the services in the place of service setting of office. All the various codes are here. If you're an urgent care facility, is a 20. There's 99 of them. You can scroll down and look at all the different codes and pull them up. So that is what is in the place of service codes. Again, clicking the DermCoder tab in the upper right corner will take you back to the last major blue tab we were on. We were on the coding and billing rules. The Medicare unlikely edits. This is built in elsewhere in the DermCoder. This is on the CPT and fee screen. Again, if we click DermCoder here, go to the CPT screen, this Medicare unlikely edit appears here. But if we want to look at that data in tabular format, we can look at all of the codes, the definition, and what the MUEs are. It's either 0, which means it's not listed, or actually we'll have the MUEs listed here for you. You can search by code, so if we wanted to know what the MUEs were for 17,000, we can type that in here and search, and we find out that there's one. 17,003, for example, should say 13. Clear your searches. Again, DermCoder tab will take you back to the last blue section we were in. Here is all of your modifier definitions. So we have modifier 59. We can pull up the code and the definition. We have our complete listing of our HCPCS codes. HCPCS codes usually begin with an A, an alpha character, a letter. J codes are examples of HCPCS codes. And we have actually all 5,632 HCPCS codes for all specialties built into here. We also have the list of our Enm Documentation Criteria. So if you wanted to know what do I need to document for a 99213 to meet the level of care for that established patient visit, I can put 99213. Here is an office outpatient visit, established level 3. I need to have 1 to 3 HPI factors, no past family social history needs to be documented, 6 to 11 bulleted items of the exam, review of systems 1, the risk is low, or I can do coding based upon time. It's 15 minutes. If you need help with your Enm consultation documentation details, we do sell a set of laminated coding quick picks that has one sheet dedicated purely to Enm documentation and has all of the review of systems broken out for you and examples of what they are and HPI factors, etc. for all the different levels of care. Highly recommend that product. We also have in here our EOB and remittance advice code. So if you have remittance advice you're getting electronically and you're getting a denial code and it begins with some letter and you're not sure what it means, you can put them in this listing here and find out, decode it, find out what it means. There's, let's see, common one here, N365. I could have looked it up here by doing N365 and searching. That was the remittance advice code that appeared on the EOBs in 2013 and before when you were billing the e-prescribing code on your claims to let them know that they received it. And you would look for the N365 code. So if you're trying to decode your remittance advice, you can do that with these tables over here. Also your claim status codes, or maybe if you had an adjustment and you weren't sure why it was adjusted, you have all of your claim adjustment codes are listed here as well too. And then lastly, the taxonomy codes, not used that often for billing and claims and dermatology, but if you needed to look at the taxonomy code for another specialty or specialist, you could look them up here. All specialties are listed. So that is the miscellaneous data feature of DermCoder. Now we have the exports feature. What DermCoder can do is it can take a lot of the data you've been looking at in these training videos and export it into a tabular format or to a PDF format or even a screen print that you can do something with. For example, the office fee schedule. You can actually export all of the data into an Excel file, and if it's the end of the year or the beginning of the year and you're trying to load your billing software with the Medicare fees and your Medicare second fee schedule for your non-Medicare carriers, and this is where that feature comes in handy that we talked about in part 1 of the video, or part 2 of the video, is that Medicare can calculate a second fee schedule for you. You go under options, you say my second fee schedule is going to be Medicare plus 90%. You go into your fee schedule here and you're going to look up 17,000, and Medicare is going to pay you, in Florida for example, $74.65. 90% more of that, $74.65 plus 90% is $141.84. If I go to the exports feature here and I export my fee schedule, go ahead and do it right now. Here is a screen dump in PDF of the fee schedule. I have the code, modifier if applies. Again, modifiers are used for the pathology, the description, your participating fee, your non-par fee, your limiting charge, and your second fee schedule or insurance fee. That's at Medicare plus 90%. So I can do this, and I can export it to PDF like I just did, or I can choose the second one and export it to an Excel file. As I stated a few seconds ago, some of our providers will actually use this to help populate their billing software at the end of the year. Their vendor allows them to load a comma delimited or a spreadsheet file in there rather than manually typing and adjusting hundreds and hundreds of codes in their billing software. So you can use the export feature to do that. You have 3 formats: a PDF, an Excel file, or a printable page. A printable page is basically a screen dump. I'm going to do that, and you can print from this if you need to, or just scroll through and find what you need to do. So we have the office fee schedule, we have the services if they're performed in a hospital-based setting, the entire clinical lab fee schedule, ambulatory surgical center fee schedule, the entire listing of correct coding initiative codes. There's 47,000, it's over 1,000 pages long. And we have all of these data tables: CPT codes, ICD-9 codes, ICD-10 codes, J codes, and V codes. All of these are derm specific except for the ICD-10 code listing. That will actually export all 69,000 ICD-9 codes or ICD-10 codes for you. So that is what this export feature does within DermCoder. And that concludes part 5 of our training video for DermCoder. Lastly, we're going to talk about the news database in part 6.